Lose my coffee. We're good, Tobias. Excellent. Klaus, yes, we're good? Wonderful. Hey, everybody. Welcome to day 3 at Print 18, the Printerverse. It's a little quiet this morning, but that is a lovely opportunity to have an intimate conversation with some of the movers and shakers of print. Thank you, everybody out there, for watching and paying attention. These last 3 days have been getting lots of comments on in emails and LinkedIn things, and apparently there's all the exhibitors are watching on their phones in the hall to see what everyone's saying here, so that makes me very happy. We've had more, what's 1,400? 7 and 8 is 14, right?
Yeah.
7. We had more than 1,400 scans already in this booth, just on people coming here to learn, which is pretty incredible. And one of the reasons they come here to learn is because of the amazing Intergalactic Alliance of the Printerverse, and they are not chosen randomly. I like to bring the companies together that are pushing the industry forward. I don't think anybody really needs to invest time in standing still. And with that being said, one of the Printerverse supporters for quite some time now, Johnny P, is adphos. And John, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you do and who you are and how adphos helps print businesses grow. And I know I ask this question a lot, but that's the theme of this show, and if people don't see all the panels, I want them to make sure that they understand that every time they see you.
Thank you. So my name is John Palazzolo. I head up the marketing and sales for
Buongiorno.
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 for adphos North America. So adphos, who are we and what do we do? So we actually use light energy to help printers, to help industry, to get greater productivity. You know, it's the same story. Everybody, faster, more, better, and that's really what we do. And how we do that is by enabling with our technology. For example, we just closed a deal for a company that has an HP press, and they're wanting to run on some higher speeds, on some higher gloss stocks. And so we're enabling that for them by putting our technology in their press. So, but not only is it going to enable them to run their current work faster, it's going to open up new opportunities for some photo books and some other things, markets that they're currently not serving, but they're going to be able to now with the addition of the adphos technology.
So I know I talked to you about this a lot offline, but as long as we're here now, why would the industry put so much water in ink that you need a separate thing to dry it? And is this an additional expense to the printer, to the end user? Does it add more to the process?
So, and again, it's, primarily a lot of the work that we do is in inkjet. And obviously your conventional printing inks, your litho inks, roughly 90% solids, roughly 10% waters or liquids. Compare that, it is exactly 100% inverse of that. So the water-based ink, and you have to have a lot of water in order to keep those heads clean and to get the jets out and to get the drop right. It's very hard to jet thick ink.
You need it viscous, I guess.
Viscous, yeah.
So is it because the water carries the ink to precision drops? Is that what it's about?
Yeah, the water is a carrier, so it's carrying the dyes or the pigments, depending on what it is. And again, because of the small nozzle sizes and the very small pigments, you got to have a good amount of carrier to bring that down. And then there's other liquids in the inks too, some copolymers. There's all kinds of different things in there to keep them moist, to keep them wet, so that they jet properly.
So who is it that you want to talk to, and what are the conversations that you want to have with them?
The people that we're talking to and are coming to us are companies, like I said in that last one, where they're really trying to push the envelope.
Is that a printing company? A printer or
Yes.
a manufacturer?
Yes,
Okay.
it is
so
a printer.
printers can come to you?
Yes.
Okay.
So printers can come to me, manufacturers can come to me. We partner with all the major OEMs in one way, shape, or form or another. Also, the ink companies work with us. The paper companies.
That's a good one. The ink companies.
The ink
That makes a
companies.
lot of sense.
And
Yeah.
so because it's ink, it's paper, and it's drying. Those three together. So we have to collaborate very closely on all those.
What is going on for you here at the show? Are you meeting new people? Have people already done research on your technology before they come up? I like to learn about the attendees.
So we're getting what I've been fun with is we also sell through distribution channels. So for example, MCS is one of our partners. They sell a lot of machines with our technology on it, and so of course we don't know who those end customers are. So it's just been great to have people literally walk past our booth, see the dryer, and oh, I've got one of those. And so now I'm getting closer relationships with the end customers, and that's going to enable us to have better products, keep our fingers really on the pulse of the market.
That's really cool. And the Printerverse will help you keep in touch with the end customers too, because that's who's hanging out
Absolutely.
here. How can people get in touch? What's your website?
Website is adphos.com. Booth 818, just right over there towards the front of the hall, and we'd love to see you. And also too, adhesives. We talked yesterday, I was on a panel the other day about printed electronics, so we're doing sintering of metals, all kinds of different things. So thermal processing is really what we do.
Thank you so much for your support of the Printerverse and for your support of the people and keeping inkjet printed flat.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Deborah. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I need HP's table tents. Oh, Rolando's got it. Self-service, I like it. I'm the Amazon store now. Just bring, get it there. Boop, I scanned you. You are really from HP. I know. I've hung out with you a lot this past week.
Yes. Well done. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, everybody, come on in, have some coffee. We have some breakfast. Girls Who Print Day. Happy Girls Who Print Day. Happy Girls Who Print Day. HP is a sponsor of Girls Who Print, so thank you very much.
Yes, that's right.
For your support. Really appreciate that.
Very nice.
Rolando, why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do at HP, and if you want to say hello to your peoples at, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Venezuela.
Hola, Venezuela.
Venezuela. Hello, Venezuela. To anybody out there listening. Thank you, Debbie, first for inviting us to be in this panel and this today. I'm Rolando Martinez. I'm in charge of what we call category product marketing. So it's basically product management of all the Indigo platform for North America and Latin America. So I'm based out of Atlanta, and I've been with HP about 8 years now with the Indigo division. And before that, I was 20 years with Kodak in different graphic arts. So I've been in the industry for about now 29 years.
So this panel is called Movers and Shakers, and it's about companies that are pushing print to the next dimension. And you are doing that literally and figuratively over in the HP booth with a variety of technologies. Did you introduce anything new at the show?
Yes, we're always innovating, and now what we call during the fall, suite of introductions, of fall and new product introductions, we are introducing on the lower end platform silver ink. So
Wow.
to bring in silver ink to that platform, which is a real silver, and it leverages the liquid ink technology that Indigo has, where we can put almost any type of pigment inside the ink. So we have silver. We're also introducing invisible yellow, invisible blue. These are inks for for security. So they're great because they're visible under UV light. So we're introducing these new. But it's not only about the ink. It's the new applications. And,
Right.
and if you see around our booth, and I think unlike any other booth that you see out there or any other, we're showing customer applications, because it's all about we're really not selling presses, we're not selling technology, we're selling a business opportunity, we're selling applications, and that's what people really want to see. So we focus a lot on customer applications, and we're showcasing those that silver, showcasing invisible blue, invisible yellow, fluorescent pink, fluorescent inks. So a suite of a lot of inks. We're also showcasing on the Indigo 12,000, which is the best-selling B2 platform, digital press, we're showcasing the high definition version, the HD 12,000 HD, which has an HD imaging system, and on that press we're showing a stochastic screening, so FM frequency modulated screening. So we were able to do the very good, very smooth skin tone. So for high-end photography, now we're taking the very high quality of the indigo presses to the next level with this HD. We're also showing in the booth a new platform for wide format inkjet. Okay, so we're showing a latex printer. It's called the R2000, which is the first latex printer that is hybrid in the sense that it can do rigid and can do also rolls, flexible. So this is for outdoors, even for indoors, large format displays that can print into anything.
Jamie, the printer, wants to know how wide it is.
Oh, the width of I believe it can go up to 6 feet, but I'm not the expert on that.
He's writing notes though, so he's interested.
I invite you to go over and check it out, because the two key features is that it's hybrid. It can do rigid application, flexible, and the other, which is also unique in that platform, or in the latex platform, is the white ink. So it can use white ink, but unlike any other technology out there, it manages the white in a way that it's constantly shaking the white if it's not being in use. So you have zero waste of white, which is a big issue that prevents a lot of people using white, because there's a lot of waste and it becomes prohibitive. So now there's zero waste with white, so now much easier. You have it there, you can now sell the application all day long. So in the end, the color vibrancy of the latex ink. So it's a unique platform. It's creating a lot of attention, and it's one of the highlights that we have in the booth as well. So that gives opportunities for commercial printers to diversify their business. So we're showcasing a lot of these new applications. We're also introducing here for the first time at a worldwide level a new variable data application called Collage. It's the next.
I took him to see that yesterday.
You saw that? It's great. Yeah,
I love that. I'm obsessed with collage.
It's the next version of Mosaic. Mosaic has been extremely successful.
Yeah, I think it's variable print for dummies. I mean, I could
Exactly.
do it. I could do it. I could set up a variable print job, and so could a printer with a couple of pieces of art. It creates print-ready PDFs. I'm obsessed with this.
It's amazing. I'm also I love it as well. It's so easy. What Collage is just taking several elements, design elements. Let's say you take an apple, a pear, a banana, and then you have a package, or let's say business cards with different elements, and those elements, the software automatically will rotate, change, scale, modify, but it does it in a way that it looks natural, and every card, every piece will be completely different using those elements. So they look part of the same family, but they're unique. So imagine if you have a product, you have the unique product, nobody else has it, or you're giving out a business card. This you can tell the person, you make that person feel special. This card is unique for you. Nobody else has this card. So it brings a lot of new applications, and those are applications that we're showcasing here. But I'm sure there's other applications we haven't even thought about. We found that our customers are the most creative in the world.
They are. They're MacGyvers like him.
Yeah.
They
so
make up things.
They make up things, and we're finding out new applications every day, and that's what we try to showcase here. And and our customers, and I think in the industry, they like to share.
Yeah.
They love to share, and they showcase, and it's a very nice environment. Everybody's looking to grow the business.
Right, of course.
Everybody grows. So those are, and can't forget the PrintOS.
How could you forget
our friend,
PrintOS?
my friend Bob Rouse, the PrintOS.
He'll come with an alien and hit you
Yes, no, can't forget. No, PrintOS is extremely important because it's about the ecosystem. How do you manage all these assets? How do you manage production flow, your production or your workflow? So it's a cloud-based system, and we're introducing a series of applications part of the PrintOS suite. So we have a new way to monitor your efficiency called the overall equipment efficiency. It's an industry way to measure and monitor the efficiency of your presses, assets, and so it's a plugin now. It's an optional plugin. It's a subscription, but it'll give you the OEE measures for all your equipment with PrintOS. We're also introducing a marketplace for PrintOS. The marketplace is going to be just like it sounds. It's like imagine an Amazon store or an iTunes store for printing applications. So third-party vendors can now build applications for the HP ecosystem and put it on the marketplace and make it accessible to all the HP users.
Wow, that's really cool.
Okay, so it's opening up a portal to get vendors, to get software, and HP presses and HP systems to communicate and offer all the services. So we want to connect people and create this marketplace. So that's another great thing that we're showcasing here. We have of course new versions of SiteFlow, okay, which is a software that allows to bring web to print in a very easy way. It's like a web to print for dummies.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic
Why'd you
tool.
look at me when you said dummy?
No, when you said because you mentioned that the
I
collage
know,
of Dow
I'm
dummies,
only-
it's great.
You see, it's so easy to
I
get a
love
rise
the-
out of the HP guys. So easy.
Yeah, so we have it's in what I tell people when they come in, and we've had an amazing amount of traffic, visitors.
imagine,
It's
yeah.
and so we're very happy with what we're seeing, and what they tell us is not just one thing; it's the amount of innovations that you're bringing in, and we are continuously innovating, and that's one of the key things that we want to make sure that people understand, that when you're where you're buying or you're getting into the HP Indigo page wide latex, you're buying into a partnership.
Yeah, you're buying
With-
into a family, yeah.
Into a family, and we're constantly innovating, and we're very proud of what our customers do, because if it weren't for the customers' success, we wouldn't be able to innovate and bring more things to the table. So just we in the booth as well, invite you to come over. We also have from the designer standpoint, we have a designer. We have Diane Holt showcasing how she's using Mosaic, and now she's all excited about collage. So we are constantly bringing new stuff, and we're now getting ready for new stuff for next year. So we have fall,
Very
spring,
cool, yeah.
and so invite you to come over.
Excellent. So if you're at the show, HP's in booth 2411 up in the front. You're pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
And it's always worth, if you see the big blue HP, blue and white HP logo, it is always worth a trip to see what they're doing, and most importantly, what they're talking about, because most of the time what they're talking about might not be here yet, but it will be coming, and they are I kind of see you guys as like with the print machete, and you're clearing the way, clearing some of the clutter, and you help people streamline processes, and you help them execute great work. And growing up in the advertising agencies, we flock to that kind of equipment. So thank you very much for your support of the Printerverse, and it was great hanging out with you this week with Label Expo. They're going to start talking about us, Rolando.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you
Okay.
very much, Deb.
Adios. You want to say anything
Adios.
in Spanish to your friends out there?
Muchas gracias y arriba Venezuela.
Adios. I got a pause. If I don't see you again, thank you so much. Well, unless you're coming back, I'll be here all night. Hello.
Say that accent hasn't improved over the last 12 months.
So I apologize in advance, but I have an Australian next to me, which means I have to start this off by going, "G'day, g'day,
It's good to see your accent has improved in the last 12 months.
g'day." Is that even close?
No.
Do it for everybody.
G'day.
G'day, g'day. Adrian Fleming, Print IQ. What do you do there? What does Print IQ do?
Hello everyone, my name is Adrian Fleming. I'm the head of sales across the globe for PrintIQ. PrintIQ, we see ourselves as the world's only management workflow solution as opposed to management information system. The reason we say that is that we stretch a lot further up and downstream than a traditional MIS would. We have built into our product web-to-print functionality, as well as being very flexible about integrating in with other front-end systems for orders coming in. We also integrate a lot further downstream through to pre-press systems, through to automation systems, through to workflows like the PrintOS that we spoke about just a few moments ago.
So yesterday we had two panels that were a little almost like, why is an MIS system sitting on these panels? And I just want to reiterate some of that. One of them was about digital packaging, and one of them was about web-to-wall, digital decor on demand. And your team chose to sit on those panels.
Right.
Can you explain why and how you're involved in those two areas?
Right, so yes, we chose those areas deliberately, which I know surprised Deborah a little bit when we did. The main reason I think that we chose to sit on those panels is that the idea of a print shop today that does just one thing is largely gone. A big theme of last year's Printerverse was around the one-stop print shop. And I think people fall into the mistake too many times of just assuming the software they have that works today for a sheet-fed digital press or an offset press will translate well into wide format or to garment or to packaging. So the reason we took part in those sessions was to show that our product, rather than just putting a sticker on it to say, yeah, we do packaging, we've actually thought about the product and we've actually worked with local packaging producers to understand the needs of those markets. So in the case of packaging, we've got now built into IQ a very easily navigatable and visually referenced die library. A lot of feedback we got around managing the die cutting in packaging is hugely complex. There's usually hundreds, if not thousands, of dies lying around the factory. So having a way to reference those within the system is very valuable. Managing things like die life and how long plates will last on a press. Integrating in with other systems too, like the ESCO, both from an artwork creation and an automation suite point. That's something that's very widely used in the packaging space. And equally in the wide format space. It's typically not sold on a sheet of paper, and manufacturing costs are not a sheet of paper. We need to understand things like what's the yield out of a roll? Do we charge in an MSI or a square foot basis? Is there handwork involved? Do things need to be constructed and mounted and made? And again, all of these things aren't typically done in a sheet-fed print shop, and a typical MIS doesn't cater for those things.
It seemed like the people, most of them were wide format manufacturers, or they were manufacturers on those panels, and it seemed to me that they were, their workflow that they bring with their company is the one that they're suggesting is the one that's used for these applications and these business segments. But does yours tie into those, or does yours replace those?
It's almost never replaced them. It's usually a symbiotic relationship. The software that the vendor produces is usually excellent at doing their piece of the puzzle, but there's typically a lot more involved in producing a job from start to finish. There's managing all of the labor and managing all of the resources and managing all of the planning in the factory. Then of course there's the capturing the costs and understanding, did it actually cost me what I thought it would cost to produce this job?
Right.
And of course the simple stuff like invoicing and managing your inventory and those kind of things too. So it's usually a joint relationship.
The other thing that came up on both of those panels was that, taking the scenario that, if we want to consider this a commercial print show, right? However people are defining that these days, because it seems to be getting more convoluted. But if we look at this as a commercial print show, then we can make the assumptions that the commercial printers don't know how to estimate and price wide format printing. It becomes
Right.
a whole other situation for them. I know that your software has estimation help capabilities. Does that tie in at all to helping them with this business problem?
It does, but the bigger problem is almost the knowledge of the market. I hear a lot, the reason I'm selling it this way is that the shop down the road is selling it for this price, and maybe I'll take a couple of bucks off to be the cheaper player without necessarily understanding how and why they're doing that. So not only do we bring the tools to play to help them understand their costs, but we can also take that thought leadership position to suggest some different methods by which they might price their product. Cost is one thing, but selling it is something completely different.
believe this is your third time in the Alliance.
Yes.
And the first time it was just you and Mick over in Australia.
Right.
And I'm not saying there was a Printerverse effect or anything like that, but now you have a pretty significant North American presence.
We do.
A global presence.
We
even
do.
More than that.
We do.
Speak about that a little, please.
So since we last met 12 months ago, our North American team has swelled from 2 people to, as of next week, 6 people in the North American team.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We've actually done our first install into the European market as well. That was more accidentally than deliberately, but there you go. Install base wise, we've now grown from, I believe we only had a handful of customers here last year. We're now approaching 30 sites across North America, and our global install base is almost at 200 sites now. So
congratulations. I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, we've grown amazingly, and I'm sure the Printerverse has a lot to do with that.
Yes, you're sure. That's
Yes.
a definitive statement.
Exactly.
Okay, as long as it's a definitive statement, I can accept
That's
that.
what you told me to say, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I'll take some money off your invoice
Yeah,
later.
beautiful. Thank you.
How can people get in touch? What are you doing at the booth in case there's people want to follow you back there, which they often did last year.
They
quite
did
frankly.
indeed. Yes.
So where are you here, and how can people find you online if they're at home watching?
So we're here at booth 249 today, down in the Software Alley. We have demonstrations set up to show the latest and greatest releases of PrintIQ. Some of the new things we're showing are our brand new capacity planning module. That's just truly amazing. We've done a lot of refinements inside PrintIQ too, especially around the label space. We were here at Label Expo last week, which was another awesome show. So please come on down and see us. Our website is printiq.com, we'd love to talk to you.
Thank you so much, and I'm sure you guys guys back on panels today, or are you done?
I think we have one more this afternoon.
Excellent. So see somebody later, and thank you so much for your support and for hanging out and for letting me go. Good day. Good day. Good day.
Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, everyone.
Good day. Solimar. Good day. Good day. Good day. Deborah.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Deborah. Good day. Oh, God, I can't stop. Good day. Solimar. Solimar, empowering customer communications. Empowering customer communications.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Solimar, Jonathan McGrew. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
I like your little chapeau.
Yes.
It's very.
It was bought in Florida.
I like your little chapeau. Can you please tell everybody what you do at Solimar, and then what Solimar does, and I will try to follow along.
Yes. Well, we are a software company based out of San Diego. What we do is we help jobs or print files or things that you're trying to get out to customers flow through a process, and we optimize it, we enhance it, we track it, we make it visible. Basically, we do all the things that you need in order to make your business more profitable, more manageable, and it's all around software and print and digital delivery. Does that make sense?
But it's not an MIS system.
It is not an MIS system. It interfaces with MIS systems, and it actually can make what the MIS system does, or the Managed Information System for print, more visible across the whole organization.
And what is your tie into augmented reality, which is really cool? And then also, how do you fit in the workflow? Because I know that Solimar sits on a lot of workflow panels, but is not doing the same thing as most of the people who sit on the workflow
Sure.
panels. So maybe explain how you weave in there.
Sure. Yeah, so we'll start with the AR part, since you asked about that first. We have a strong partnership with Reality Blue to provide a data-driven, variable, or personalized AR experience, which is one of a kind in the industry right now. It also provides a geo-located experience so that you can have multiple experiences based on your location or the location of the recipient and their mobile device. It's a really cool piece of technology that bridges physical and digital. And we're seeing a lot of uptake of interest in it, especially this year. We talked a little bit about it last year when it was brand spanking new.
Right, and the variable data augmented reality those are the 4 words that have stuck with me. And every
Yeah.
time someone from Solimar sits on this panel, I'm like, variable data augmented reality.
Yes.
Because that is still the only person I've ever heard utter that phrase is your company.
Yes, and we use the Solimar platform to drive that variability and to drive that personalization, because we're able to interface with the data as a workflow software that's able to work with the print files and the job files and the databases that have all that consumer data as part of it, and keep it secure. And the other part of that is, don't worry about the variable data part, because it is not exposed anywhere outside of the secure system. So it's just like a print file. Then moving on to the workflow part of it. So workflow is a big word and it gets used a lot, but what Solimar does is we sit after the composition step, or the step at which you create whatever the communication is that you're trying to get out to the public. So we sit in this middle process from what we tend to call file receipt or file creation all the way through to delivery, whether that be mail, whether that be email, SMS, app notification. And so what we do is we optimize if you are familiar with PDFs, which everybody in the Printerverse probably is, we have ways to optimize those for inkjet printing, for toner printing, high speed. We have ways to track that file through different processes on a dashboard that is now mobile enabled, which is really cool, because we like to say you can be on the golf course now and still see your print shop in multiple print facilities. You can expose that to your customers so that they don't have to call in to see where their jobs are. It's something that it sits between an MIS and the real world, is what I like to say.
And how can people get in touch with Solimar, and where is your booth? I know we crossed that one out.
Yes, we are in booth 1600, right next to the entry, so we're right up at the front. There's even a little cafe up there. If you're hungry, you can go, munch and then come over. We're right there. You can't miss us. Empowering critical communications. You can also always send an email to sales@solimarsystems.com. I'm on Twitter. Solimar's on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can find us on any one of those channels. In the Printerverse, we're on the Alliance page for Print 18, and we're happy to converse on any channel.
And Solimar has great resources, white papers. You do a Solicast, a podcast.
Yes.
There's lots of stuff going on there. They're full of information, and I really like your graphics. You always have really good graphics, so it makes things easy to understand.
Well, and that shout out goes to Mark Joslin, our in-house graphics person in the marketing department. He's been there almost 20 years, and he's amazing.
Well, it matters, and you know me, I'm constantly like, that looks bad, and I like yours. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Thank you, Deborah.
Next, we have Konica Minolta.
I can't get out around the chair.
Are you okay? Yeah. Kelly. Kel? Oh, he brought his up. I want you to meet him. Yeah. Go meet him. Kelly, meet him. Meet him. Kelly, that's the gentleman I was talking to you about who would be, we want to talk to you about Girls Who Print stuff. Excellent.
Hello.
All of a sudden, I turned to my left, and one of my favorite people on the planet has manifested. Eric
How are
Holdo.
you, my dear?
I am awesome.
Good.
We've become a planet in the Printerverse with
That's right.
with our own gravity.
I feel that. I feel the gravity.
We are so awesome, it is unbelievable. Speaking of awesome, we're live, but I don't even care. Shout out to Yasmina. You're awesome out there.
Yes, she is.
Awesome Girls Who Print. Is she at the show?
She is. She's absolutely here.
Okay, well, please have her come by for Girls Who
Absolutely.
Print time. Eric Holdo,
Yes.
you are so awesome. You do so many things. You write software. You're a chef. You were a printer, which is why I think I gravitate to you the most.
Thank you.
Of a lot of the manufacturers, because you have that down to earth, come on guys, let's just get this done attitude instead of, and you don't really talk in the clouds, you talk practicalities, which leads back to how is Konica Minolta helping business grow. But tell everybody a little bit about you, because you're interesting.
Well, thank you. My mom thinks so anyway. So,
Hola, mamita.
I've been, this is now my 32nd, almost 33rd year in the production print space. I have owned and operated service bureaus for the transactional print and highlight color laser printing. I've had traditional offset. I've worked for probably most of the manufacturers, the major equipment manufacturers up on the wall there at some point, and learned lots of great things from all of them. And what I've been doing for the past 15 years or so is I'm the vice president of the graphic communications and industrial print line of business for Konica Minolta. So that lets me do some wonderful things as far as new product development, working with our folks in Japan, giving them voice of the customer, feedback specifically. And I also launch all of our software solutions. So for example, Jonathan that you just had up here from Solimar,
Yeah.
one of our lead solutions, and actually well beyond where people think Solimar is. I mean, we actually use them as a backbone for many of our production management control suite. So anyway, so my what I've always done is I try and make it simple because I want it to be simple for me.
Yeah.
And I want it to be achievable. And I think that there's a lot of talk that people make about here's all the great things you can do, but how do you make money at it? And
Yeah.
that's where I like to focus with our customers. So
Achievable is such a great word.
Yeah.
Because there's, I mean, I deal in printspiration all the time. I'm just a
Love that word.
I'm a printspiration provider.
Yeah.
I try to get people interested in the possibilities of print,
Mm-hmm.
but it has to be achievable, which is not my job. My job is just to make sure you guys are doing that.
Right.
Otherwise, me and Jamie the printer have a problem with that.
yeah, I mean, there are times when you look at some of the amazing stuff that some printers are out on social media showing that they've accomplished, and you look at it and you say, wow, that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. But then you realize that the workflow or the creation process of creating it, you really never could afford to spend that much time on making that work. I mean, there really is art still left in the business, and so what we try and do is make it repeatable and achievable, not just achievable. And repeatable means consistent and predictable.
Right.
So in some of our new products, for example, we just released our new color line of products, and the biggest deal about it really isn't the printer part. It's the component that lets us achieve delta E, or perception of color difference, that is less than the human eye can see, which is a delta E of less than 1. And that means repeatable. So now I can do extraordinarily high quality work and know that every time I come back to it and every time I run it, whether I'm running it here or across the country, I can achieve the exact same colors.
There's been a lot of buzz in this booth about your booth, about the MGI machines that you have back there.
They're
I've been
awesome.
hearing some bells ringing, which
We have.
either there's a cattle around,
Yes,
or
we have cows that
yes,
walk
or someone
randomly
selling some
through the
machines
booth.
back
Yeah.
there, or there's somebody hitting that sledgehammer in one of those strength
yeah.
testers. Why the MGI?
So MGI has always used Konica Minolta components, whether if you look at their Meteor, that actually was our print engine, and the heads inside of the MGI embellishment products with the jet varnish, those have always been Konica Minolta heads. So initially it started out where they would sort of buy our equipment and they'd change it and then they'd go sell it. And eventually we bought 10% of them, and then we liked that and we said, let's buy 40% of them. So we bought 40%, and it's been a great partnership with them. I mean, they are not a wholly owned subsidiary or anything. They are their own company, but we interact at a very, very deep level. And I'll tell you what you can create on those devices between the dimensional UV and foil, and being able to do it all with one set of varnish and do it predictably and reliably it's awesome. And we see those printers that are doing foil today, that are perhaps using other methods, or perhaps farming out, or even doing their own foil stamping. They see the gains almost immediately.
Right.
But the creative printers who are in part of the market that demands, whether it's the luxury market or even anti-counterfeit measures and things like that, they're also seeing amazing benefits from it. So.
Excellent, Eric Holdo. And now, even though, of course, you would prefer that they're using the MGI with a Konica press, it is not dependent upon that, which is not something you guys always talk about.
Yeah.
But it may be one time we could just
Yeah.
tell people that
Absolutely.
if they don't have Konica, they might still be able to get one of those MGI things.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I actually do talk about it all the time because it's very important. We know that not every environment is going to be all Konica Minolta. We like that, but it's not realistic. So the solution is, it can work with offset. It can work with anybody's toner that's up on that wall, and one that's not. It will work with.
He's not so everybody look on the Alliance page, and how many does it work with?
Yeah, all
but one?
including one that's not there.
Really?
One- yeah,
Okay, but
yeah.
we're not going to mention them,
No,
are
we're
we?
not.
See, that's what I meant. I thought maybe we could mention it today, but that's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't
No,
want
no,
the
no, no.
lawyers to be like, get that video down
Basically-
off YouTube.
basically
Eric
just-
Holdo's selling presses for other companies.
Basically, any toner product, any inkjet product, any offset product. Now, it depends on the engine you use, but what it's called the 3DL and the Evo, which are the Evo's up to a 40-inch press sheet size. So I mean, you really have some amazing flexibility running through that, and yeah, we can embellish everything.
Cool, man. So how can people get in touch, and what booth are you in, and if they're at the show? I mean, there's people here in the booth. Oh, there you go.
We're in booth 1611.
Man, I'm handy with those
You
little
are
booth
handy with
numbers
that,
there.
right?
1611, and the website is something long.
It is konicaminolta.com, and it is. Yeah.
I think it's got a US at the end.
No, the U.S. is actually that's our handle.
It's not Konica Minolta Business something solution.
No, if you go to konicaminolta.com, it'll
link
route
you
you
to it?
through
Okay.
with the city and all that, or the country and all that stuff. We
Oh,
are
okay.
a global company, a $12 billion company globally, so we have to play nice with everybody. But you could also go to KonicaMinoltaBusinessSolutions.us. That's the other one.
That's the one I
that's
know.
longer.
Yes.
Just go to KonicaMinolta.com.
Okay, that's the one I know.
Okay.
Which I hate even attempting to try to put it on
It's-
websites and stuff. So
Hey,
I always
it's on my
yeah.
email too, which telling somebody your email, you're like,
You fall asleep halfway through
That's
it.
right, exactly.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for your support. Eric Holdo and I came up with Eric actually came up with the idea, and I stole it very quickly and trademarked it on camera. So it's my official idea. Next year, Eric Holdo and I are going on a print rescue.
print rescue.
Like
That's
bar rescue, we're going to go to places and we're going to rescue them with print, whether it's retail environments or print shops who are not doing the right kind of applications.
That's right.
We'll print rescue with teaching them how to talk to customers.
Right.
I mean, we're going to make a whole cool, I think we should do it video. We'll take Inkish
think
with
video,
us.
yeah.
We're going to take Inkish with us. I've just hired you guys. You just don't realize it. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
everything. It's official. We're doing this.
Yes, I'm
Print
in.
rescue.
We're doing it.
TM.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes, or no, well, very soon, 2 seconds, with course correction. Is your workflow flowing? Everyone's talking about workflow. I see my work.